they can be, these huge dogs are likely to take a disliking to other animals and can be very dangerous to dogs in particular. They just kind of can't help it though. They were built to be that way. Owners have to be super vigilant and extremely good at controlling this animal, which is no mean feat because the dogs are massive and incredibly strong. They're considered a dangerous breed to such the extent that the Tosa is literally banned in some countries. Number 10. Perro de Presa Canario. This is a dog that is such a fearless guardian that it's really not recommended for anyone except the most experienced of dog owners. It's a huge responsibility to take care of any dog, but one of the size and sheer strength as this one is quite a different matter. In fact, the breed is banned in many places around the world, which is why you probably have never heard of it. These dogs love to work for their owners, and they need a strong leader or else they're going to take the lead themselves, as they have a naturally strong and dominant temperament. Often used as a cattle dog, the breed is yet another which has a disastrous history in dog fighting. In fact, it was used as such in the Canary Islands until as recently as the 1950s. Number 9. Doberman Pinscher. The super alert, peaky-eared Doberman Pinscher was developed back in the 19th century Germany to be an aggressive protection animal. These pups have a reputation as being a fearsome guard dog, but when they're properly trained, Dobermans are loyal and calm companions. Muscular and powerful, the Doberman is fast and agile. They've long been successful show dogs and are obedient, fearless guardians. Dobermans have served as working dogs in the U.S. Army, and the U.S. Marine Corps Dobermans of World War II became famous for their work alongside troops in the Pacific. They were known as devil dogs, and sadly, 25 of these noble soldier animals lost their lives in the battle for Guam. Loyal service is not uncommon amongst the breed, whether as a police dog, search and rescue worker, or even protecting private homes. The Doberman Pinscher is a dependable dog with an elegant appearance and an imposing presence. You would definitely think twice before bothering one of these chaps. Even their impressive deep bark may be sufficient enough to put off any would-be troublemakers. Number 8. Fila Brasileiro. This historic dog was bred in Brazil all the way back several centuries ago when it was used primarily as a large game hunting animal and a working dog. These canines have their roots very firmly in the tradition of service and guardianship, and since the phrase faithful as a fila exists in Brazil, there can be no denying the loyalty of this large breed. These dogs go by many names. They may be known as Fila Brasileiro, the Brazilian Mastiff, Cal de Brazil, Cal de Fila, the Brazilian Bloodhound, or simply the Fila. But whatever you may choose to call them, this purebred dog is a large, energetic, and headstrong animal. However, beware. Their sheer size combined with a tricky personality means that this is not a breed for everyone. They can be aggressive if they're not properly trained, and that personality can make training them a bit of a challenge unless you're a very experienced handler of large dogs. It's also worth checking whether or not it's actually legal to own one of these dogs where you live. Some countries consider the dog to be a dangerous one and have therefore banned the breeding and sale of this pooch. They're currently on the naughty list in the UK, Australia, New Zealand, Norway, and Denmark. And owners of the breed in the United States may run into issues with insurance if they have this breed in their homes. Despite the fact that the dog is an effective guard dog, insurance companies are likely to cancel a homeowner's policy, so bringing one of them might be asking for trouble. Number 7. The Boer Bull. The Boer Bull is one huge dog. It's also one with a name that I've probably mispronounced. These are the bodybuilders of the canine world, and their bulky, stocky bodies are all power. So beware of this dog. These big dogs hail from South Africa, where they're often used as protection on remote homesteads, and there are, after all, a whole bunch of wild animals in South Africa. You know, like lions and leopards just strolling along the countryside. Considered a dangerous dog in many countries of the world, this one is actually banned in several places. These big guys do have a bit of a reputation for being a great guard dog, but also a little bit of a thug. They're very loyal and won't back down when threatened. In fact, the dogs have been known to get into a bit bit of a pickle with big cats and leopards, and they are fearless in the face of danger. This is why they're often chosen to be a guard dog, but that bravery does come with potential aggression toward other animals and people that the dog doesn't know. That can be a dangerous combination, so these big beasts need to be very well trained, and their owners have to be extremely responsible people, or else things could easily go very wrong very fast. Just look at the muscles on these dogs. Historically, this dog was a war dog, and there's a good reason that they were chosen for that particularly violent job. It's because they're massive, and males, well, they can easily weigh up to about 200 pounds. Wow! Number 6. Kangal. Considered by many to be the national dog of Turkey, the Kangal is intimidatingly large and has all the features that you would expect from a dog that has traditionally been bred for the protection of livestock. Although not a herding dog, the Kangal is a flock guardian and is known for its ability to protect its wards from really massive predators like bears, wolves, and jackals, so the breed has guard dog DNA flowing all throughout its veins. In the United States, the dogs that are closely related to the Kangal are known as Anatolian Shepherd dogs, and nowadays these dogs are a popular choice to protect livestock all over the U.S. Way back in the Babylonian Empire, there were references to this breed's ancestors in the ancient art that was created during those times. That dates back to 2000 BC, people. These guys even turn up in biblical stories. By the 1950s, American ranchers were importing these big working dogs, and they've become a firm favorite during the following decades. The beautiful hounds work tirelessly, protecting livestock all over the states, with animals from sheep to llamas and ostriches in their care. And since they're even brave enough to send a wolf running for the hills, there's no doubt that these animals are amongst the greatest of guard dogs out there. Number 5. Wolf dog. For some people, mostly the crazy ones, the idea of a wolf as a pet is just utterly irresistible, despite the fact that a wolf is certainly not a polite housemate and is very much a wild animal with some distinctly malodorous habits. There's still a real appetite to tame the wolf and bring it into their homes. So the wolf-dog hybrid is a thing. This breeding of wolves with domestic breeds of dogs attempts to take a little bit of the beast out of the animal and make it less likely to tittle all over your soft furnishings. First of all, it's important to know that it is illegal to go out into the wild and just steal yourself a wolf. It would be foolhardy and most definitely extremely bad manners. And so the next best thing to do, if you're hell-bent on a pet that might eat you, is to get your very own wolf dog. These animals are oftentimes indistinguishable from their wild, fully wolf brethren, but they do have a little bit of the domestic breed in them for good measure. These domestic breeds tend to be German Shepherd, Siberian Husky, or Alaskan Malamute, and these breeds are all wolfish enough so as not to water down the wilder looks of the wolf itself. It should be noted as well that the wolves used to create these mixed breed animals are from a population of captive wolves, so it's hard to say whether there's enough of the old wild wolf left to howl at the moon. Number 4. Caucasian of Charka. These brave and fiercely loyal dogs are strong and stubborn working animals, bred to guard sheep and to protect people against wild animals. In the mountain regions of Russia, these are some tough dogs from one of the toughest terrains on Earth. They're so fearless, in fact, that these dogs are prepared to step up against bears and wolves. This is not a shrinking violet, that's for sure. Because of this extraordinary bravery and strength, these dogs can be rather tricky to train. They need a patient and experienced owner, or they can be quite aggressive, but this is because their breeding has selected this trait. As a guardian and protector, they don't come more loyal than this dog, so if you're experienced with dogs and perhaps have a wolf problem, we've all been there, then this breed is the best one there is. In their history, these dogs have patrolled mountainsides, protected flocks from predators, and they've been used in prisons, and were even the dog choice to guard the Berlin Wall in the east. So you could say these incredible animals can pretty much handle anything, right? Number 3. Husky. Even though Huskies are definitely beautiful, they are also a lot of work. Unless, of course, you happen to live in the Arctic tundra, in which case they will do a lot of work for you. But most of us don't live in such chilly and expansive landscapes, so generally Huskies are not the optimum choice for a pet pooch. In fact, even if it is actually legal to own one, you may find it difficult to find a place to live if you happen to have it. They are often subject to being banned in apartment buildings, and this is simply because they're a medium-sized dog and therefore subject to a ban based on their size. However, sometimes Huskies are specifically banned because they can be really noisy and kind of destructive. But then they're also a working dog that needs an enormous amount of exercise in order to be fulfilled, so being cooped up in an apartment is going to cause them great discomfort and a whole lot of frustration. So don't get a Husky just because you think they're cute. They need to run, like all day long, or they may just end up eating your couch. Number 2. Saint Bernard. Anyone who's ever seen the Beethoven movies can't help but fall for these super cute, extremely slobbery big dogs with massive personalities to match. These beautiful, gentle animals do get their name from Switzerland's Hospice Saint Bernard, where they were originally kept to guard the grounds. It was, in this mountainous region, that the clever, faithful Saint Bernard was also used as a guardian, sent to find and rescue lost and injured travelers in the dangerous terrain. The lovable Saint Bernard is a life-saving legend, and records from the hospice do show that these incredible dogs saved over 2,000 people from the treacherous mountain pass. These days, the big gentle dogs are popular as family pets, for those with a lot of space, that is. These guys love to have room to stretch out. This is a 180-pound pet after all. They also prefer a cooler climate because they are mountain dogs that were bred to withstand the cold, so they don't exactly enjoy the heat and it's not exactly good for them. They also slobber a whole lot, so if you're concerned by a mess, this hairy big drool machine is likely not the best choice. But they do love you and protect you and your family, and just look at that face. Number 1. Chow Chow. Apparently, in some parts of the United States, the fluffy and innocent-looking Chow Chow is considered a dangerous dog and is therefore banned. Amongst the reasons given for that label is that they are territorial. Like many dogs, Chow Chows can be fiercely protective of their families. They can be aggressive to other dogs, they have strong hunting instincts, and they may attack and kill other animals. Basically, these dogs have a whole lot of instincts that can put them in situations where they may act upon those things and cause harm to animals or people. They are, like many of the dogs on our list, in need of a really good training and experienced owner for their own protection as much as anyone else's. Well, I hope you enjoyed this closer look at some of the dogs that have been given labels and sent to the doghouse over their reputations. Ultimately, it seems as though there really are no such things as a bad dog, but there are plenty of bad dog owners. What do you think? As always, let me know about all your thoughts in the comments section down below. Be sure to check out the other cool things that are showing up on the screen, and I'll see you next time. I love you.